Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of Grand Prix Atlanta 2012. You are about to watch that man, former player of the year, Brad Nelson, Freak MTG on Twitter, and he's up against Gerardo Fedon, which someone I don't know much about, but you, Sheldon, do.
Jefe, as we call him, you see it there on his hat, is a Armada Games regular in Tampa, Florida. He plays more Commander than he plays in other formats, and he likes Legacy. His favorite deck is the Belcher deck that you're about to see in Pilot. He came up with a crew, about half judges, half players, three of the 4 players in the car made day 2.
Excellent.
And
Makes for a good drive home.
Yep, except for the one guy.
He's buoyed by his fellow successes.
Right. A good sporting guy. You know, he understands how to play competitive Magic, and he understands how to play social Magic, and
doesn't confuse the two.
And doesn't confuse the two.
That leads to good results in competitive Magic and friends in casual Magic.
It does indeed.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's running a pretty standard Belcher list.
Yeah, now, to be fair, if you've not seen this on camera before, Belcher has a bit of a reputation for not getting on camera, and part of that is because we like to bring you Magic through most of a round, and maybe this morning we're not going to, because, well, there are some land issues for Gerardo Fedon in a Belcher deck. He's not running 20 or 22 or 25 land, basic or otherwise. I suspect there'll be one land. And there's a reason for that. The combo wouldn't work with more.
Right.
Basically speaking. So you are going to see him just generate a gajillion mana off no or conceivably one land. And then you're going to see Goblin Charvelcher reveal the deck. And then go, do you know, I didn't actually find any land, shockingly, which means you take more than your life total. Thanks so much for playing. Brad Nelson, meanwhile, not that I think we particularly need to worry about it, is playing Rug Delver. So no Grizzlebrand this time, a sort of straight ahead. Rug Delver, he's been playing it a while. Said yesterday he felt, a lot of people are picking up Reanimator and maybe shouldn't. But here is Brad with a horrific mulligan. We're going to start with Chrome Mox. It's going to imprint. That's red mana. That's a Rite of Flame. That's another Chrome Mox. Not sure that's really where I'd be pausing. It felt like it was quite carefully scripted. He went, wait, I've played the second Chrome Mox. What's that about? We're at the imprint.
Turning on the Metalcraft on.
Oh, yeah, we're at the imprint part of the. So there we go.
Song, yeah.
Yep.
And a land grant to get us one land.
And there's Empty the Warrens.
So he's basically dumped the entirety of his hand onto the table on turn 1.
Yeah, and he says, well, that was the 5th spell of the turn. Empty the Warrens is the 5th spell. So that means I get 10 1/1 goblins. You are at 20. So you can lay a land and maybe lay a Delver or a Nimble Mongoose. Then I'll hit you for 9.
Right.
And you put something in the bin. Then you can make a Tarmogoyf, which will be quite big. I'll hit you for 8.
Right.
That's basically what we're dealing with. Whether at 9 in the morning here in Atlanta, we've been organised enough to provide 10 Goblin tokens to the feature match area, I sincerely doubt.
Nelson going through and counting Jefe's library.
Interesting.
Well, I figure he's got some time.
Oh, sure, yes. You staller. 2 minutes in. And, gaboing. Ha1, Ha2, Ha3. A 4, a 5. Yeah, so in fact, the goblins didn't get to appear on the table. That was just, thanks for playing. And we're off to game 2.
Well, we did talk a little bit yesterday about the rug delvers in its sort of inability to mount big comebacks. And that would have been a big one.
Yeah. Yes, it really would. So Chrome Box, right, land grant, empty the warrens, 10, game.
So the sideboard plan for Brad Nelson involves submerges, scavenging ooze, red elemental blast, surgical extraction, ancient grudge, gilded drake, cursed totem.
So, for example, he could give Gerardo a 3/3 flyer for 2 in exchange for a goblin token.
Yeah, right.
Should he wish to do so? Should he feel the need?
Yeah, I mean, the ancient grudges may have some value if it's...
Yeah, I mean, Brad's on the play, isn't he?
Yes.
So, it does give him the chance, should Gerardo be a kind of half a turn, where he runs out of Chrome Box.
Right.
And then doesn't get there.
Right.
Then Brad has the chance to go, and actually, I'm going to more or less stuff you because... But again, you just don't do that. You just sit there and sculpt the hand, and then off you go.
Right.
This is all about force of will.
Yeah.
Really. And I'd like to go off, yeah, just when let's counter the land grant and say, do you want to, how far do you want to go with this? Don't think Cursed Totem's going to help him. Activated abilities of creatures can't be activated.
No.
So, Charbelch is a straight-up artifact. And then on the other side of things, well, Fedon's got the obligatory 4 Xantid Swarm. That's the traditional weapon of choice for the Belcher player who likes playing alone so much he wants to carry on playing alone after game 1. Please let me interact with you. No. The most exciting attacking for none in Magic. Xantid Swarm. Hits you really hard for nothing. It is our intent to mix and match this round. When it's over, about 3 minutes from now, we'll see if we can get you to another match. If we can't, we'll bring Gerardo to talk you through every phase of every turn of the entire match in loving detail with Sheldon while we get set up for what will be game 2 in one of the other feature matches. So you will get... I won't promise interactive Magic. There's at least one more 8-1 Charbelcher deck in the room. We'll
Hefe goes with the Gitaxian Probe.
And this time he does see Force of Will and a Spell Pierce, double Tarmogoyf, Lightning Bolt, and a Brainstorm for Mr. Nelson.
I have to imagine that he's brought in his Pyroblasts.
Yeah, has a full set of those. And of course it all adds to the storm count if he's going down the Empty the Warrens route. So, here we go. Gitaxian Probe 1, Lotus Petal 2, Lotus Petal 3, Lotus Petal 4, Lion's Eye Diamond 5,
and folks wonder what the use of the Lion's Eye Diamond is. Traditionally, it's the activation mana for the Charbelcher.
Yeah.
Doesn't need a hand anymore.
So, there goes Lotus Petal number 1.
Brad Nelson having to read the Tinderwall. another. It's Tinderwall is a card that's older than half the players in the room.
Brad looks like he's going to crack his Misty Rainforest in response to the Tinderwall. May decide to do something about that.
And it's an Tinderwall's an 0/3 that you can sack, an 0/3 wall that you can sack for 2 red mana.
Or even to deal 2 damage to target creature it's blocking.
Yes.
I wonder if that's ever been used in Legacy. It probably has. I think every ability of every creature has been used sometime. Must have been.
Every now and again, we see, like we did in Baltimore when Turtenwald went on the Snapcaster Mage beatdown plan, cards used in non-traditional fashion.
Yeah. Snapcaster Mage attacking, that's absurd. So Brad's still looking at his Misty Rainforest and trying to decide whether now is the time to turn that into meaningful mana.
Hefe, very patient.
This is spell 6 of the turn. We talked a little yesterday about liking mirror matches. I said how much I like mirror matches. And I guess this is kind of why. As we see, Force of Will, pitching Brainstorm. Let's say that you will not be sacrificing to deal 2 damage to the creature you're blocking at any point in the future. More importantly, let's not give you 2 red mana. However, Force of Will is now number 7 in the store count. Another Lineside Diamond, which was thought free placed off camera, but here it is now.
Abe Corson, Judge on Scene, sensitive to the camera area.
Now that right hand looks to me like it's about to be your turn, but that can't be right, surely. 2 cards in hand for Gerardo. He's Gataxian probed, so he knows what's sitting there. Sacrifice Lotus. Is that okay? He passed. Wow. Well, that wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, certainly didn't go anywhere near where. I mean, so Brad's path to victory here is to get a guy out while still being able to protect himself against Hefe going off.
I mean, he has Ancient Grudge in hand. But doesn't he get to utterly destroy everything in sight?
Well, but once Charbelcher, for example, hits the table, if he has enough mana to activate it.
He's not going to, because Brad's going to blow up all the mana in the world. Oh, okay.
Gonna see what he's got.
3 cards off Ponder. Some of those are land. That would never happen in a Belgian deck. So Brad has a hand of 7, lays land number 2, and passes. Such a scary deck to play against. Takes quite a lot to get Rashad Miller excited, but he's like hanging on every phase of every turn in this one.
You know, Rashad has that calm demeanor, but he's quite excited about it.
Especially when you get a completely non-interactive combo deck on the telly.
On what?
The telly. The television. The high-def plasma experience. TV, telly. Especially on Sunday, that's what you do, you watch the telly. Sunday afternoon in Europe, they were just kicking back, joining us, had a bit of lunch, watched the telly. That's what happens. That way. It's English. If you're American, you wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't be watching the telly at pub.
Let me tell you, if Gerardo Fedon against Brad Nelson is on in the pub, we're doing better than I thought.
We'll get the crack staff to find out if the stream is going into any
English pubs.
any publican establishments in the UK.
Probably going into some Republican establishments, I would imagine.
But not in the UK.
No. And
There
that
it
is a Goblin Charbelcher.
Countered or die, Hefe says.
Or have a stifle, which, as we've previously mentioned this weekend, nobody seems to have.
It looks like there is not action in Brad Nelson's hand.
Yeah. Ready to run for the next match, Rashad? Nope. Oh, super expert Rashad Miller says Brad Nelson can draw one card. What's the one card? Make me look clever on TV.
That he can draw or that he can
That he can draw. What can he draw?
draw force of will. But he didn't try to do it.
He could have drawn Force of Will, but right.
I mean, now that's probably.
That's not a land. That's not a land. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, bye. Thanks. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
There it is.
So, yeah, good game. That, my friends, is Goblin Charbelcher. And you see, if you want to beat a player of the year, very few ways better than that. You sit down, you play half a dozen turns, other guy sits there shuffling little bits of cardboard, none of which are relevant. You go, thanks for playing. I'm 9-1. With the branded hat and everything.
Telling you.
It's like it's his own, like, little
Empire.
the Belcher brand.